Hi guys, welcome back to our video again. In this video, we want to talk about the motorcycle parts which generated all the electricity that needed to power the bike, which is the stator. This is a part which most of us do not really check on it. In order to check it, you need to disconnect the stator coil to the rectifier connector, and you need to do a three-phase test to see the resistance. You also need a little bit of electrical knowledge in order to complete that test. That's why most of us don't really do that test when we take over a motorcycle or on a periodical check. So what happened here is while we were waiting in the traffic light, I queued the engine to manage the heat, and once the traffic turned green, I reignite the engine and noticed the ignition got cut off right after the first crank, and I couldn't start the engine anymore. Initially, I thought it was an overheat issue because the temperature gauge is flashing. So we waited for about an hour for the engine to cool down. However, nothing changed. The same thing still appeared, although the temperature gauge shows signs of dropping temperature. Then after, we know that it is time to call the tow truck and send it to the workshop for a more comprehensive assessment. After the workshop received our bike and do an assessment, they told us they needed about 1 month to repair the bike, which was quite shocking. So I called the dealership. So luckily they have a bike that I can loan from them. So we went to pick up the bike and head down to the workshop to check out what's wrong and why does it need to take so long. After having a short chat with the front counter referred us to the mechanic. The mechanic showed us that the issue is actually caused by the burnt stator. Without a functional stator, the bike cannot generate enough power to crank and start off the engine. And we found out that this is a common issue on a street triple. And I guess it's pretty common on all the class 2 bikes in Singapore because of the heat they generate and the weather that we are experiencing in Southeast Asia, because I have this issue on my previous class 2 bike as well. So all we can do now is just say a temporary goodbye to our street triple and wait for the parts and the repair to come. This exceptional long wait is due to the shipment and also because of the COVID-19 that we are experiencing now, which causes a lot of delay in logistics. And this is also part and parcel of owning a continental bike in Singapore. Usually the parts are harder to come by, or in fact not just the continental bikes but also the rare bikes that are not commonly found in Southeast Asia. After we made the payment, the mechanic actually brought us to the bike and showed us what was being done and also point out some of the things that we need to look out for some preventive measure. I would say that the mechanic in this workshop is really experienced and very professional. They know what they are saying and the logic is very sound. They are not your half-past-6 mechanics just want to smoke you and then get job done. We took the bike out to put some air back in the tire because it has been there for a month, and we run a little test ride around that vicinity to check if everything is in working condition, just to ensure the bike can run in good working condition. And we decided to bring it back to our inspection center to complete our overdue inspection. About an hour later, something weird happened. Just right after we have completed our inspection, the same issue happens again. We couldn't start the engine. We do have some ignition crank, but you can clearly hear that it's being cut off after the first initial crank. So we arranged a tow and towed the bike back to the workshop for further assessment. After a day of checking, the workshop mentioned that the bike is ready for collection, so we went down and test the bike again. So this time around we are checking and testing it more thoroughly, especially after the bike is being returned for a longer period and the engine is heated up to about 5 or 6 bars where the fan is being engaged, and we shut down the engine and try to reignite it to see if the issue reoccur. Based on the mechanic, the issue was caused by the loose ignition contact. When the ignition switch and the ignition system contact is loose, it doesn't really have enough contact to supply power to engage the starter motor to crank up the engine. The ECU will somehow cut off the power totally as they detected that the power is not sufficient to start the engine, and this causes the end result of what we experienced earlier on. Later on, we also found out that the IU is not working. When we put in our cash card, the value does not display. Probably this shows that the IU is not working. So we went back to the workshop and it's already at their closing hour.
Okay, sorry, 我太麻烦了，太多问题了。
They are very nice. The mechanic has already changed and prepared to go home, but he still helped us to sort out the wiring issue. At the end of the day, it's just some loose connectivity back to the battery, and it was remedied within like less than 5 minutes. Other than that, the bike is really good to go. It's back alive. It has returned to its original state where it used to be. And that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching our video. See you on our next video. Bye bye.